Samsung just dropped the Galaxy S26 series at Unpacked 2026, and we've got hands-on experience with all three phones. So here's everything you need to know in under 10 minutes. If you thought the Galaxy S25 series was just focused on AI, well, buckle in, because the Galaxy S26 series takes that to a whole other level. There are some nifty hardware upgrades like a larger aperture on the cameras and a new privacy display on the Galaxy S26 Ultra that I'm kinda obsessed with, but I gotta calm down and talk about that later. But first, I wanna start with the hardware changes because frankly, there isn't really that much. First off, we got three new phones, the base model Galaxy S26, the Galaxy S26 Plus, and of course the Galaxy S26 Ultra. At first glance, you get that familiar Samsung design, but interestingly, all Galaxy S26 models actually look pretty identical to each other, like it was quite hard for me to tell them apart when I was at the event. This time round, all the phones have a rounded edge rather than a rectangular edge, like the one that we saw with the Galaxy S25 Ultra, but it does seem that the Galaxy S26 Ultra, as far as I can tell, can only be distinguished by the S Pen attachment at the bottom and its size difference compared to the other two models. And here's another thing you should know. The display sizes across all Galaxy S26 series are exactly the same as last year's model. But I did notice that the Galaxy S26 Ultra is lighter than the Galaxy S25 Ultra. Not by much, but I did feel the difference. And that's because the Galaxy S26 Ultra is using an entirely different frame this year. Last year, we got the titanium frame for the Galaxy S25 Ultra, but this time, we're getting an aluminum frame across all Galaxy S26 models, which is surprising because usually the flagship is always different from the non-flagships. Even with the front screen, again, all Galaxy S26 phones now have the same protection as the Galaxy S25 Ultra, which is an upgrade from last year's base and plus models, but the Ultra stays the same. What do you guys think about this? Do you think there should be a difference between the flagships and non-flagships? Do you even care? The Galaxy S26 series has the same dynamic display and peak brightness as the Galaxy S25 Ultra. Now, I know what you're thinking, okay? But there are improvements to the overall display tech. Whatever that's on screen, you're getting more out of the colors and details like skin tones, gradients, the kind of stuff that's hard to describe, but you do notice it when it looks off. For the camera, there aren't any big major changes from last year's Galaxy S25 series, but to be honest, it was already pretty good as it is, so why fix something if it ain't broke? The Galaxy S26 Ultra still has the same wide camera, ultra wide, and two telephoto lenses. The base Galaxy S26 and S26 Plus is also the same as their predecessors with the wide, ultra wide, and one telephoto lens. But there is one tweak that we found meaningful. The aperture got bigger across the board. And on the Ultra, the wide camera now opens up to f1.4, where previously it was f1.7, noticeably letting in more light. The telephoto comes in at f2.9, improved from f3.4. So in theory, that should allow for better low-light shots and more details in the zoom, but we'll have to put that to the test in a full review that's coming up, so make sure you subscribe for that. All Galaxy S26 models also have a 12-megapixel selfie camera that can specifically recognize and preserve fine details like eyebrows, hair strands, and skin texture. So here's hoping that there's no more half-invisible lines around my hair. Samsung also introduces horizontal lock across all models, which I had a little bit too much fun with when we were testing it out. But here's how it actually works. So it automatically centers a subject in the frame no matter how you move the camera. Battery on the Galaxy S26 Ultra and S26 Plus are the same as last year's, but the base model has increased to 4,300 mAh. What's different is the super fast charging 3.0 on the Galaxy S26 Ultra, which supports 60 watts wire charging, which is an improvement from last year's 45-watt wire charging. We're talking 0 to 75% in just 30 minutes, apparently. Wireless charging is different for each phone this time round, 25 watts on the Ultra, 20 watts on the Plus, and 15 watts on the base model. The Galaxy S26 Ultra is finally rocking the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, which is what you expect from a flagship, right? But the Galaxy S26 and S26 Plus, well, they're getting Samsung's own Exynos 2600, which is the tiniest most efficient chip in any smartphone right now. So whether that beats the Snapdragon, we'll probably have to test it out when we get the phones. You've got cobalt violet, sky blue, black, and white as your standard options across all three models, with silver shadow and pink gold as online exclusives. And obviously we know Galaxy phones can record video up to 8K 30fps, but for the first time ever, we can do that with the APV codec, which maintains lossless quality and doesn't take up as much space as HEVC. Okay, finally, my favorite feature yet. And it's exclusive only to the Galaxy S26 Ultra because honestly, it's genius. It's called Privacy Display. And the way it works is when you turn it on, the screen is completely normal to you looking straight at it, but anyone else on the side trying to peek, trying to be a busybody, all they see is a sheen of black. You can even watch a spicy scene in public. Who will know? Only you. And here's what really sold me on this feature. It's fully customizable. You can set it per app, so if you only want it kicking in for your gallery, done. Or if you just want your notifications hidden but the rest of your screen still visible, that's totally an option too. Okay, so with hardware out of the way, let's get into what's actually new with the Galaxy S26 series, specifically on the features side, because I think this is where things get really interesting. Galaxy AI for one is more agentic now, which is really just like a fancy way of saying the AI on your phone doesn't need you to ask it anymore. It just does things on its own. So imagine this, your friend messages you asking you about the photos that you took last night. So instead of you having to open gallery, scroll through hundreds of photos, and attach the right one, your phone just asks, hey, are these the photos from last night? And it's all there, ready to attach, you just need to send them. That's NowNudge. The AI pulls context from your gallery, your messages, your calendar, and proactively does everything for you before you need to ask it. A big one Samsung is shouting out this year is Creative Studio, which lets you edit photos using plain text straight from your gallery, instead of having to use the old sketch to image. The AI now harmonizes the layers automatically, adjusting hues, saturation, contrast, exposure, and color balance. We got to test this with a random wilted leaf and wanted it whole again, and it did do that. Pretty well, if I may say. And if you want to keep adding to your image, you can. Add a crocodile behind a bathtub full of rubber ducks? Sure, why not? The sky's the limit. Circle to search is back, but you don't actually have to circle anything. So Samsung probably needs to rename that to ask to search or something like that. Just hold down the home button and ask verbally. The AI scans your whole screen and gives you a breakdown of everything, rather than just one thing. If an unknown number calls you, Galaxy AI actually picks up the phone on your behalf and asks, why are you calling? Before you even pick up the phone. And before you even answer a call from someone you know, the phone gives you a quick summary of the last time you talked to that person, pulling from both phone calls and messages. So you're all up to date before you even say hello. This call history feature can be turned off if you prefer your call history to be private, which is a good call, if I may say. And then there's Bixby, which is getting a smarter glow up. Instead of being a rigid voice assistant that only obeys commands, it can now understand natural conversation. You can say, my eyes are tired, what settings can I do? And Bixby will actually dim your display brightness for you. Even with NowBrief, it's more contextual now. Before, it just gave you updates on the weather and displayed your most played playlists. In fact, it was a pretty neglected feature, but Samsung now wants to make it more useful. It can read your calendar, understand your actions based on past use, and prompts you with things like, you have a booking later, do you want me to book you a ride? And if you already left, it even follows up with a, did you remember to go? Audio Eraser, which removes background noise, now works inside third-party apps like YouTube, Netflix, and Instagram, which is really cool for Reels, though we're not quite sure how it's gonna work with streaming, but I guess we'll have to find out when we get the phones later. You'll also have seamless access to Gemini, Perplexity, and Bixby, all working in tandem, so you have multiple AI brains available depending on what you need. One thing worth noting, most of these AI features will need an internet connection to work. So, where does that leave us with the Galaxy S26 series? Hardware-wise, it's more of an evolution than a revolution. The aperture upgrades are welcome, the privacy display is genuinely cool, and the Exynos 2600 situation is one to watch. But if you're coming straight from a Galaxy S25 series, the physical changes alone probably won't be the reason why you're upgrading. Where Samsung is really swinging big is on the software and AI side. And if even half of these features work as smoothly in daily life as they did in our hands-on session, this might genuinely be the closest we'll ever get to a phone that thinks with you rather than for you. Samsung also released the Galaxy Buds 4 and Buds 4 Pro. We will be making a dedicated video for that on our socials, so make sure you follow us on there too. So, which upgrades caught your attention the most? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all those things, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.